in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
This is it. It's live. Welcome everybody to the brand new Willadox Show. We just hit 50,000 subs, so here's a special for you. Today, the guest is Kyle Perry.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much for joining me. So,
Yeah, I can't stop saying thank you very much for joining me.
No, it's all right.
And now I even say thank you very much for having me.
And then I am going to be looking down a lot because I've got a lot of technology,
Buttons to press,
gadgets and everything like that.
Don't give away the secrets of the game too much.
So I will be looking. I'll try my best not to, but we'll see how it goes anyway.
So can I just say, everyone who's been watching and tuning in and following and liking and subscribing, thank you very much. I keep looking to the side every now and again with Will, and this is Will, the producer of the show. So it's a pleasure to have him. It changes the game. It allows us to do content every week. So that's the plan.
And we've also got another guest in the room. Let's just cut to the wide shot.
Buck, you on telly?
His name is Buckley.
Hop a beer.
Here
Come
he
on.
is, it's Buck. He was actually the first guest on the show.
Yeah.
He was helping us practice quite a lot. So it's
Nobody
good
talks about how long it takes you to set up one of these things, do they?
No.
So like behind the scenes, we was going at it for a few months to try and get it right, with the lighting, with the cameras, with the audio, and Buck. He was our test subject, wasn't he?
Yeah. Something else no one talks about is how hot. No one. I reckon people probably can tell.
Yeah, from me sweating in the car.
But no one talks about it.
I don't think anyone realises it's in a log cabin. It's in a log cabin, which ends up like a bit of a... what's one of them things where you go... Sauna. It ends up like a sauna, essentially. So it keeps hot things hot and cold things cold. It's a bit like a flask. What are you looking for, Buck?
Yeah.
He's having a wonder, bless him.
A lot of noise in the background, but never mind. We'll let him off just because we like
him. So another thing about Buck as well, bless him, because... he thinks everyone exists just to see him. So, when we're shooting a vodcast, an episode in here, he's sitting outside the door crying, wanting to be involved. So he's happy today, I think, that he gets to be on it.
And if you do want to see more of Buck, #WeWantBuck in the comments. If we get 100 comments with that, we'll get him back on and we'll do a podcast as Buck as the guest.
You fancy that, Buck? Fancy that?
Because he has got a voice. You might not believe it, but he does actually have a voice.
He can't do it when I'm on the camera, though, can he?
No. If he was on the camera, it would be. We could do it.
Dad, don't tell him about my voice.
See, there he is.
I've told him, Buck. I've told him.
There he is.
Come here. Come here. Can you come up here? No. Oh, he's knocked my drink out.
But something I'd like to talk about. So obviously,
go for it, mate.
I think you. I'm not sure how much of a fan you was of this again, because it is your show. You're the host of the Pezzadox Show. One day only, the Willadox Show. But obviously nobody probably really knows your background too much, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
not unless you follow me and know me. I mean, what do you want to know?
Well, let's know a bit about you. How does it all start? How does this become a thing? How do you even?
How does this become a thing?
Well, as well, how do you get in touch with so many celebrities? I guess you could call them. You've got footballers on here. You've had boxers. You've had reality TV.
Yeah.
How do you even get in those circles to get those kind of people on the show?
It's friends. It's mutual respect.
So again, how do you get... Because the average... Again, no offence to anyone, but the average person, they're not friends with people who are boxers and professional sports people. So how do you become...
Well, I was one, wasn't I? I was an athlete for 10 plus years. And I mean... that was me as a child. People would say that's the footballer Kyle Perry, and I always had an issue with like being labelled as something, and I do now. And like people ask your story, and you tell them, and they go, "What?" And then you tell them something else, and they go, "What? That's amazing. What? But I always say I'm left-handed, I'm left-footed, I'm left-brained. My brain is very different. It's like constantly churning, and I'm trying to be creative and innovative and. I've always loved art, so art and being creative and marketing were my first loves. That was my passion. That's why I love the wrestling, because it's everything which encompasses that. It's the lights, it's the camera, it's the action, it's the theatrics, it's the storytelling. I love it all. And it was my dad and my brother, essentially, who loved the football, you know. I remember I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go and play football. And my dad was like, you're going. And I was like, well, I want to be in goal. And he was like, no, you're going to be the striker. You're going to be the goal scorer. And I cried. I didn't want to go. I said, Dad, I want to stay at home and play with my wrestling toys. And he dragged me there. And then I think this is when my character traits of what my mom has came in. Like, I was told I wasn't good enough and told I was crap. And I was like, no one's going to tell me.
At the football training?
Not the first session, but as it goes, you know, you're like the last picked. So why am I being the last picked? And then he got to a stage where I was the last pick because nobody wanted me on the side, because then they wanted it to be about them. And it's an interesting one. And
so
then
where did you go for training? Was you at a...
It was Brew Juniors as a kid. And I mean, my dad was my brother's football manager. So it was a Sunday team locally. And they're still going today, bless them. But it was, you know, the low on numbers, they need somebody to train with them. So I'd go and train with them. And I think that was how I got my break at Walsall as well. Like I had scouts watching me. So this is Sunday League football. And I was a left winger as a kid, but for the school, I was a goal scorer. I'd score 3, 4, 5 goals every week. Loved it. But there was short on players. And I was like, you know, do you other son want to come? You know, we've been watching him. I was like, no, I don't want to go. And I was actually playing football down the park. So I finished school playing football, went down the park with my ball like you used to do back in the day, or I did, playing down the park for 3 hours. And then my dad brings the car around the corner. Oh, they need an extra player for the under, whatever it was, under 10s. I was like, I'm playing football down the park. And he says, yeah, come on, just come with us. Jumped in the car then and went and played for an hour and a half with them. Then he says, come back next week. Went back next week. I was there for 10 years. Do you know what I mean? And then it was kind of like when my passion then was becoming a professional footballer as a kid. You know, people ask you at school, what do you want to be? I'd say professional footballer. They'd laugh.
Yeah.
I had teachers say, don't you want to be something a bit more realistic? And I couldn't understand that they'd have smaller dreams. And that's kind of been my outlook through my whole career or life, really. You know, I want to be in a rock band. No, you can't be in a rock band. No, I'm going to show you. I want to tour. I want to support bands. Yeah, you can't do that. How can you do that and play football? I'll show you. I want to be a marketing manager. You know, I think I'm creatively talented at what I do. You can't do that. Well, I'll show you. And it was never about proving them wrong. It was always been about proving myself right. And that was it, essentially.
At what point, because obviously if the first time you went, you hated it or you didn't want to go, how come you didn't want to go? Did you not like football at the time, or was that not?
So I was I was a shy kid. I was a quiet kid. And I didn't want the spotlight. I wanted to just... I was happy just doing my own thing, really. So extroverted introvert or introverted extrovert, one of the two. Mm-hmm. And then over the years, it became about challenging myself, you know, pushing myself and pushing the boundaries. So what's he doing? Buck, come and lie down. Your cat's okay. So I always remember, like at primary school, I could always sing. And Mr. Morris, the headmaster of my primary school, nearly every assembly, he'd pick a kid to stand up and sing one of the hymns in front of everyone. And he'd pick me nearly like every week. And as a kid, the fear, he gave me so much fear. But now, like, looking back, I'm so thankful that he, like, gave me that opportunity to face my fears, essentially. And then every time I went on stage in my band, you know, you get imposter syndrome. And, you know, you have that for years on a football pitch. You have it in the office. I think everyone talks about it in life at some point, feeling like, what are they doing? And I think, yeah, everyone's outside the comfort zone doing something or feel like they're being automated, you know, at some point, playing the part. But especially, like, playing in front of 30, like, you're just on a ride. So you're playing in front of my dad and the dog on a Tuesday night. I was part of an FA Cup run, signed for a football league side, in front of 20,000+ on a Saturday, people chanting I'm a donkey and I'm a fat bastard. Then I convinced myself I was the pantomime villain. And then it was like a 10-year professional career, which then turned into a semi-pro career of just as long, you know, as a part-time job, which essentially, you know, it's full-time. It's Tuesday night, Thursday night, Saturday, all day. You still travel the country and you still have to be physically in touch with everybody else. So you still have to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it's ruthless, it's relentless, and that's just semi-pro. So I've got a lot of love for those lads as well. So yeah.
I mean, because you say as well, like 20, 30,000 people chanting that at you. I feel like to be like a professional footballer or any sports person, not only have you got to be good at it, you've got to have the mental strength there as well. I don't think I could do it personally.
Yeah, no, I get this. Like, I was trying to explain to somebody the other week, because I always get people, young footballers, reach out and ask me questions and how do I deal with it? Because I was a bigger lad. I've always been tall, 6'4", but I've always been like 19 stone plus, which is kind of an anomaly in football. You know, in strongman, that's kind of your weight, but in football, it's kind of a different story. But I was saying that it's more difficult when you drop down the leagues and your body can't do what it kind of used to be able to do. And like you got 6 lads where there's just a barricade there, and they're still on this automated thought process where they can still chant these things to you, and you can hear them, and you're like, lads, what are you doing?
Do you find that mad though?
Like, shut up, yeah. Oh, you're a fat bastard, Perry. Oh, eat, oh, eat, oh. And I'm like, lads, I can see every one of your faces. There's just a bar there. Like, you're paying to watch me, but then I'd still score the winning goal in the last minute. And then what they're going to say.
But also, they're watching you. If they're that good, like they're not good enough to do it, but they still think they can put the two pence in. Do you know what I mean?
But I mean, that's the thing about football fans. Like and I think it's changed a little now. Like, it's a different type of fan, especially at the Premier League. You know, it's more foreigner fans coming to experience the English Premiership. But back in the day, you know, it was called what, praise and grumble on the radio. Like, our thought process was they're paying our wages. They pay the money to moan. They work all day in fabrications, steel mill, something, you know, which isn't the most romantic, dirty, gritty, you know, the graft. And then with that hard-earned money they've got, they'll pay for a ticket to come and watch the game. So they're within their rights to say what they want. Now, 9 times out of 10, it was full of rubbish, like the stuff they say and what you have to listen to. So you have to, like, manage the stadium, the crowd, manage the dressing room, manage the manager, manage the directors. And I think when I first went into like an office at the corporate world, after this is what all footballers worry about. And I think there needs to be a bit more of a better plan for them to come out to transition out the game into like the grown-up world, as we call it in the game. Needs to be a bit of a plan, but the life skills, the core skills football give you is like unbelievable. I'm so thankful. Looking back now, I say the 2 things I loved the most was just meeting the different types of people. As I say, the groundkeeper, to the bloke who cleaned the pitch, cut the pitch, to the woman, to Sue who'd get you a beverage every day, to the fan. You know, those relationships and experiences to the skills of like wanting to be the best, understanding that a week's a long time in football, and if you're the villain this week, next week you might be the hero, so you can always put it like right and challenge yourself. And it's like a pressure cooker, this football environment is. You have to keep going. And now I've been out of it a few years. And I mean, even recently I've been churning away working and stuff. And like I look at it and it's like, you know, it felt like 2 weeks ago, all the lads broke up on their, you know, football breaks, the season's over. And then a week ago, they're back pre-season training. Yeah. I was like, how did I do this for 23 years? No wonder, you know, I fall out of bed and I have to oil my joints to get up and stuff. It's relentless.
It's a long time to do it as well, to do any job for 23 years.
Yeah.
It shows that you obviously were really good at it.
Well, no, fortune favours the brave. So I think like that was my decision. I wanted to take a back step. Do you know what I mean? If I wanted to get myself super fit and back in, I probably could, but it's too much. It's too much for the body. And I lost the love for it a long time ago. So things changed the day I started getting paid. It wasn't the same game. I was the kid who would go down the park, jumpers for goalposts, pretend I'd be Ginola, you know, who else? Roberto Di Matteo, Violi. I love my old school Chelsea team. Di Canio. You obviously know all these football stuff.
Yeah, I'm a big football fan.
Can I just say, I need to say this on the record. A couple of weeks back, we did the worst quiz. Get you on the screen as well, split screen. Carl Porter, comedian, he went viral, 50 million views for his slow motion goal celebration. He wants to pull away from that. I get that. Towards the end of the quiz, towards the end of the show, Will passes me a quiz. I'm trusting my producer, aren't I? So I'll start reading out this quiz. Whether he's ribbing me or what, I don't know, but it was the worst quiz ever. Anyway, it done unbelievable numbers on
there
TikTok.
You go. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, $250,000, $500,000. The views was absolutely amazing on TikTok. But me, all the comments, that presenter's an absolute nightmare. He knows nothing about football. These are the worst questions ever. This guy knows nothing. And thanks, Will.
Question 10, Liverpool's anthem.
We'll Never Walk Alone,
There
yeah.
we go. We all know that one now, thanks to the quiz. But yeah, it was a good episode, that one.
It worked,
I
mate.
liked it.
It worked.
So, yeah, it's part of it. I mean, I do plan on pulling one up today, to be honest with you, but we'll leave it. I mean,
you're the man.
20 years football, you got to have some knowledge, surely. You have the football knowledge. Also, another assumption, 23 years as a pro footballer, you got to be a millionaire.
No, it is an assumption. So again, it was just shy of 10 years pro. 23 years. I suppose I class it from pre-seasons. So which is like finished school. I mean, when I was 15, they pulled me out in a 6 weeks holiday to start training, to start, senior football is what they'd say. And then, it's just a relentless slog every single week. And loved it as a kid. Jumpers for goalposts, that old cliche. Started getting paid at 16, not very much, but classed as an apprenticeship. I got to dress as a footballer, have my wash bag.
And who was this for?
This Walsall Football Club.
Are you able to talk about, as an apprentice,
Yeah,
back then,
well, I've mentioned it on a few pods. So when I used to do podcasts back in the day, I mentioned it a lot. Like, my experience is very different to a lot of others, which is a shame because I loved the game. And it wasn't a positive experience. Part of my youth team setup, I was talking to him the other day, Matty Froherty went on to play in the Premiership in the FA Cup finals. I'll hopefully get him on here at some point. We was talking about our experience and he saw it through like rose-tinted glasses compared to what I did. Now, I wasn't pushed or championed in any way. I had to physically fight every day. The bullying was ridiculous. Some of the things you'd have to deal with. I dreaded going in. And because the catchment area was so I lived in Featherstone, in Wolverhampton. So I had to catch a bus to Wolves and then a bus or a train to Walsall and then a train from Walsall to the football ground. It'd take about 3 hours. 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening. One day they kept me there for what was it? I had to be there at 7 in the morning to clean boots, train early, stick around all day, watch the first team, clean up after the first team, left about 11:30. I ended up having a car crash late at night. Them hours are ridiculous. The wanting me in the next day, it wouldn't happen now. And I don't want to paint it in a massive negative light because I did learn from what I wouldn't do and what I wouldn't see and how I wouldn't want to be treated. So there was a lot of takeaways from it. And the coach there at the time, Mick Halsall, I'd learnt a lot from him as well. From a work ethic standpoint, he was really credible. He was really good. I remember one day, me and Brucey Wheeler, we was sweeping the dressing room, just having a nice chat, sweeping the dressing. And he comes in and he goes absolutely fucking mad at us. He pinches the broom off us. He said, "This is how you should be sweeping a dressing room." And he sweeps and he sweeps and he goes around the dressing room and he sweeps all the dressing room and he scoops it up and he puts it in. But yeah, after that day, I never sweeped it casually again. I sweeped it with purpose, and then everything I did was with purpose. I was like, why am I doing it? Why am I just going through taking part instead of trying to be the best at it?
And do you still carry that now?
I try to in most cases, but you get fatigued, you get exhausted. It's about balance now. I use the term balance a lot. I'm juggling this and I'm juggling this and juggling this. So what am I going to be happy with? What am I going to be happy with? Trying to be the best in the room, the best in class was something which was bred into me. So everything was really intense, and you can see why. Ex-athletes go to addiction or gambling or some kind of catch, whether it's drugs or something, because it's like, what do they replace that addiction with? Trying to be the best. Or, it's an ADHD thing. You read Beckham's book where he'd have to score 20 times in a row on a free kick on the training park or he couldn't leave. So he'd be there for hours doing the same thing over and over again, feet covered in blisters. And it's probably not healthy, but he got to the top level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never got to the top level. It was one of them things. I think I probably could have done better than I did, but then I could have done a lot worse than I did. I know lads who I thought was absolutely unbelievable growing up, and they never went on to play in the game, and vice versa. Lads did very well. Who I'm never gonna say hold anything against anyone, but you know what I mean. They've gone on to play in the Prem or whatnot, and credit to them.
What did your friends from school think of this?
I got no friends, you know that.
Yeah, I know that, but I need to air you out in front of everyone.
Cheers, mate.
In front
On
of
camera.
All 50,000 of you. Make sure you like.
Yeah, can you all be my friends, please? Because I got none.
Subscribe. That's how we get friends here. So
that's a good point, though. We do need people to subscribe. So what we are seeing is a lot of views. Views are really good. Engagement's good. And again, subscribers are good. But not everybody who's watching the shows are subscribing. So honestly, please, 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 if you're watching the shows, just click that button at the bottom, click subscribe. If you don't have an account, create an account, because it gives us the ability to do better shows, to get better guests on, and to make more noise, which is what we want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Forgot what I was going to say now.
You did have a good question.
What was he?
Friends at school.
Oh, yeah. So what, you're off to go play. So Walsall was professional initially. So you're doing the apprenticeship.
Yeah, so
but is that classed as a professional there, or
it is? It's a stepping stone to an apprentice. So I think now you do a 2-year scholar and 1 year pro, so but it's the same thing. But back then it was a 3-year scholarship.
Yeah.
So I'd literally, when I finished school, it was from the age of 16, 17, 18. I was into Walsall Football Club.
So all your mates from school though would have been going to college, becoming
well, there was all bums by the sounds of it. Like, none of them did anything till the middle 20s. They all had gap years, or they went to A levels. So when I did see them, at like a prom or a party, they'd all be like, kid playground mentality still. And I was like I felt like I was in the real world. I was fighting every day. I was doing all this public transport, and I was in the real world.
And was it good money as well? Were you earning good money?
No. So I think my scholarship, my first year was 45 quid. And then it went to like 50 something.
A week?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then it went to 52 and then like 65. And then I went into non-league. And I think straight away I went on to like 150 quid. So like part of my story was it just didn't work out for whatever reason. And I'll tell that story. It's a funny one. But I ended up falling into non-league. And nobody prepares you. You think you're going to get your scholarship and then turn pro and then, be a footballer. It didn't happen for me like that. I kind of got rejected at 17, 18, and there's a story there as well. As in, my face just didn't fit. I wasn't happy, because I wasn't happy. For me, I was a confidence player. I needed to be happy. So into my 3rd year scholarship, they were still playing me left wing, and I knew I was a striker. I was 6'4" striker.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't stop me. You couldn't get the ball off me. You couldn't win a header, but they'd play me on the left wing. It didn't add up. We lost this one game against West Brom, and they've called me into the room, the youth team managers, and they've said, it's not working, is it? And I said, well, I'm a striker, you're playing me out of position. And they said, you've got a fucking answer for everything. This is the point with you. And that's why you're no longer going to be a Walsall football player. You get it? And I was like, oh, what did I say? I said, I remember Stan Collymore was rejected at Walsall. And he went on to do, like, a nervous kid. And they went, we never fucking released Stan Collymore, did we? It was fuck all to do with us. Get out. We don't want to see your face again. 17-year-old kid. Like, what do I do? So I walked out the manager's office. Obviously, my blood's boiling. Like, because I think I've been treated shit the whole time I've been there.
Yeah.
I go out to the pitch. I literally walk into the centre of the pitch and call my mum, call my best mate. Says, Mum, this has happened. And she went, good. She says, it's an horrible place for you. She said, it's not. You was only there because your dad was a Walsall fan growing up and his dad was a fan. She says, it's not right for you. Just come home. Come home. And it's like, what's next? There's like, I didn't have an agent. I didn't have anyone working for me.
Yeah, because you can't go on Indeed, can you? If you get sacked from your regular job or whatever.
Well, now,
Indeed, what would you do in this situation?
Exactly, but now, like, you've got Twitter where you can do a working CV. So youth team players now have like clips on this VO where they can show the soccer skills and, oh wow, he can score free kicks. We'll sign him. But then we had nothing. It was just me trying to send letters. I'd send letters to clubs. This is how it was. And this is how I found my football career. So teams would be struggling. And when teams struggle, they're desperate for players. The managers are desperate to do anything to change what's going on. And at the time, Telford, they just got liquidated and they just restarted. So there was getting a lot of big fans every game, 1,500 plus fans by the bottom of the league. And they was desperate. And they was looking for a fullback and a striker. And at the time, Shawnee Platt, who was being pushed at Walsall, they says, "Oh, you want a fullback? Give Shawnee Platt some experience." And they said to him, they actually asked him, they says, "Do you know any strikers?" And I went, "Oh, my teammate Pezza's just been released." They went, "Give him a call. Like, we need anyone, give him a call." And then I met him at the Three Hammers on the golf course in the car park. And he was like, sign this. You go straight into the side tonight. We've been watching, like, give me the blag. Now, there's a story with this guy. He turned out to be a nightmare throughout my career. And like rabbit in headlights, signed it
for the same money kind of thing. Still
didn't even ask about the money. I just know, like, this was my last chance. I needed to play. Signed it Tuesday night away at Gresley. Bearing in mind they haven't won all season. I go. Funnily enough, my cousin is a goalie at the time, playing in goal. Dale Belford. I'd love to have on the show. He's funny character, man. He's got some stories.
Yeah, man, we'll get him on.
Yeah. He was in goal for Gresley, coming towards the end of his career. So that was a nice little start to my career, non-league career. I scored 2 goals. We won 2-1. And I think the headline in the paper was like, Perry Brace gets Telford on the way. Next game I scored. The game after that I scored 2. The game after that I scored. The game after that I scored an hat-trick. Then I didn't. And I was on cloud 9. There was no stopping me. I was scoring. I scored over 30 goals, and this is what we've spoke about in the office. So I only found out a month ago I had like a 20-plus year record as being the highest ever goal scorer in one season at this football club. No one's reached out or told me anything, do you know what I mean? But that's what a massive achievement that is.
Yeah. No one could touch the record for 20 years.
It's a joke, Kenny. No one's made a thing of it.
They only mentioned you when someone broke it as well.
Yeah.
They never.
And I was in the small because he broke Kyle Perry's record from this year. But I scored all these goals. Now, this is where the story gets interesting.
Really quick, though. It would be good to get the guy who broke the record on the show.
Matt Stimson. Yeah, get him on. He's a good lad.
I'll send him a
Love
message.
to get him on. So I'm chilling around one day. Again, I'm playing Tuesday, Saturday. We're pushing up the leagues. We're getting into the playoffs. And I get a call, and I answer it. My house phone goes, hello, is Pezza there? It's Bill. Bill Jones from Walsall Football Club. Is this Pezza? Yeah. How would you feel about coming back, Pezza? I said, what? How would you feel about coming back as a pro? I said, well, is this a trick? What's going on? Yeah, we never terminated your contract. We've been watching what you're doing and we were impressed. Now, what I'd later find out is teams are interested in me. And because teams were interested in me because I was scoring, Walsall thought they could make a quick buck from me. So it's really disappointing stuff to hear, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they didn't know we knew the same people. And because I'm stupid and because my dad's a Walsall fan, I said, yeah, why not? I'll come back. And then I was playing reserve football. I left a mug in the youth team room. 5 months later, I come back. I'm getting changed in the first team room, training with the first team. It doesn't make any sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leaving a mug, coming back, bypassing everybody who they thought was better than me, training with the first team. In the first team dressing room at the time, there was Paul Merson, who I'm sure you know Paul Merson. Yeah, big pundit in the game now. He ended up as the gaffer. Roberto Martinez, international manager, very, very well thought of in the game. And these was in the Walsall dressing room who I was playing with, training every week. And it just didn't happen. It kind of come and gone. There was no real infrastructure there. I think Paul Merson wasn't in a good place. Kind of bypassed him. But at this point I was doing, because I was so eager, I was playing for the reserves on a Wednesday. So I was playing Tuesday for Telford, Wednesday for Walsall, training Thursday for Telford, playing Saturday, training Friday for Walsall. And I did that for like 3 months. And by the time the season come, like I had like tendonitis in my knee, my groin was strained, and I was playing with a strapped groin. And like this is a reoccurring thing for my career at that point. Looking back now, I prided myself on this sword and shield stuff, this old mentality. Like I couldn't do it now, and I can't believe I have done it.
Well, being that banged up at 17, 18
Yeah,
as well,
playing with
it's-
cracked ribs, playing with dislocations, playing with broken toes, playing with concussions. Like, I've played games. So for Mansfield against Altrincham, I could not see in the game. But because I was such a weapon and a target man, I'd fight the defenders and fight the centre-backs, wrestle them up, the ball would land to me, I'd strike it, it'd go in the net. And then I remember playing against Altrincham, I scored, we went 1-0 up. At half-time, I just threw up for like 15 minutes constantly. My body was shaking. And the manager was disappointed in me that I come off. And I was physically I was in a bad place.
Yeah.
Says I can't. I ruptured my thigh on a Saturday, and he had nobody else. And because, again, being so stupid, on the Tuesday, we had Gateshead away. They injected both my bum cheeks. My eyes went like a shark's, big like a shark's. Played the whole game. I couldn't move. I had one leg. Couldn't move. But again, I'd wrestle them. I'd win my heads. Ended up setting the winning goal up. It come to me. I flicked it forward, put the lad through. I think it was Kyle Nix. He's went and tapped it in. Couldn't walk for a month after that. But it got him the point. It got him the 3 points. And to me, 3 points was everything. But then towards the end of that season, he kind of filtered me out and treated me like a mug. And then he tried to get me to come in running. He says, you're too heavy. You have to come in every day of the summer and run. It's an hour and a half away. So I was driving an hour and a half, running for 45 minutes, driving an hour and a half back. This was in the summer.
Yeah.
I ended up with chronic tendinitis in both knees. He crippled me. You know, this stuff shouldn't be illegal, but it's what you have to do. Or they try and make you train on your own, and they get youth lads in to run with you just to tick a box.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why do they do it?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I got
So
the answers.
what I'm saying is, like, it wasn't rainbows and unicorns. It was like survival. It was constant survival. And like I say, I'm appreciative of it for all the wrong reasons. Like, it's given me so many life skills and so much strength, inner strength.
Yeah.
But like for all the wrong reasons.
Like you're saying, you probably wouldn't ever think about anything like that, would you? When you think of footballers, you do think of like, well, for me, I just think of, you know, Ronaldo, Messi, David Beckham, all that kind of stuff, the top guys, and you think, man, like, have you ever seen these videos? And it's like, you know, Ronaldo's money, and every second that passes, it goes up by like 50 quid or something, and you just think, man, he could do
different world.
Literally what he wants.
And I don't begrudge any of them. I'll never begrudge anyone. I want everyone to succeed, which seems like a dying thing in today's age. Everyone wants everyone to fail. But no, that wasn't my story. But I'm very thankful for everything I had. You know, football afforded me this house. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I've got to count my blessings.
8-bedroom mansion that we're in.
Yeah, this 8-bedroom mansion in my log cabin.
Yeah. What I was going to say is, so obviously you said earlier you wanted to play in a band as well. You said, I'm going to open for people, and who says you can? I'll prove you wrong. So you did end up starting a band.
Yeah.
Did you end up opening for anyone who's
Stubble Melt? Stubble Melt was my rock band. Yeah. So hated my music teacher at school. She was another one who said I'd never amount to anything. And
it's a common theme, innit?
One of my best mates was her son.
No way.
Yeah. Funnily enough,
was he in the band?
He was the lead guitarist of the band. He was class back in the day. But
so she's saying to him, "You better not succeed."
But he was class. He was nothing like her. And I was like, "Mate, your mum hates me." And he'd be like, "Shut up." I says, "I'm telling you every time." But he'd never see us together.
Yeah.
I said, "She really dislikes me." And he was like, "No, what are you on about? My mum's lovely. She likes everyone." And then one time, I was in a jacuzzi in his. So this is a few years after school. Was writing lyrics, jamming out in his like garage, and there was a jacuzzi in there. So we're having a beer and just having a good old laugh. And then this door opens up and she says, "Will you keep it down? Well, why are you two making so much?" And he's going, Mom, who are you? Who are you? I've never seen you be like this." She looks at me and she sees it's me and she turns around and walks out. And I'm like, I told you she hates me. And he was like, "I've never seen her be like this." But yeah, that's like a... So I've always had like this philosophy that life's short.
Yeah.
And people seem to be like bewildered on how much I do, but I'm like, how do you not do as much? Do you know what I mean? Like, I still want to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
which is why we're doing this.
This is one of the reasons why we're doing this.
Yeah.
So the one thing football afforded me as well was time. And because I experienced the real world when I got released, went semi-pro, I had to get a real job. I ended up as a graphic designer at the Mid-Counties Cooperative. based in Warsaw, and there was, it was a great company to work for. Managed to be a part of a team to rebrand the whole co-op funeral, co-op travel, co-op food, childcare. Great experience. And the day I got offered my pro contract, I put my plant in my box and they wished me well. And then that was when the Saturday I was playing in front of tens of 20,000 plus. But I was like, when I got all this time, I was like, yeah, I want to use my time. I don't just want to, watch box sets. Give him a push, will you? He's biting his leg. He's all right now. So, I mean, I couldn't play guitar, but I like writing poetry. I like singing. And I says to my mate, like, I've got this idea, this riff. Bow, 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 bow. And he was like, yeah, you just do this. Class guitar teacher. I think he's living in Sri Lanka now or Thailand. Oh, and I'd do it and then I'd sing to it. And then he'd say, oh, let me put something over there. And then he'd put something over that. I was like, mate, that's class. And he'd say, write a chorus, write a verse. And we'd do that. And I'd say, mate, we need like a bassist, don't we? We need to make the sound fuller. And he didn't know anyone, which surprised me. And I said, my mate, he's got so much stage presence, I can bring him in. Like, if you show him like you've showed me, because the bass has got to be simpler. We just need big, fat bass lines. Yeah. Got my mate, never picked up a bass in his life. He laid my decking in my mum's garden, so I bought him a bass. And I went, oh, now you've got a bass, you can go and play. And we started making this music, mate, and it sounded class. Because so on a Saturday night, we'd go at Wolves, we'd go to Varsity. This is what we'd do every Saturday. We'd watch a live band, and 9 times out of 10, there wasn't great. But there was on the stage, and there was playing and making music. And then we'd go on about our way, get pissed, do our little travels, end up in a nightclub, end up in a taxi at 5, 6 in the morning, rinse and repeat. Why don't we be the band before we do what we do? Yeah. Joinmyband.com, put a link out for a drummer.
Mad that was a thing. I think you're making it up. I went around them, right? That don't sound real to me.
Yeah, it's very real. So we put ads out for drummers, and was doing like this auditioning for drummers. And just this one guy, man, David Ashford, I always call him first. He was one, when you say people's names and you've got to say the full name, David Ashford was one of them. And he turned up and we just gelled. He just hit every beat. I mean, there was some amazing drummers, but this one guy, he just felt right. And then I think literally a week later, a big rock club in Derby, there was like, come and do 10 minutes. I thought, shit, how are we going to do 10 minutes? Well, we've got half for 2 songs, and then we can play this fat riff we've been working on. So we did the 2 songs in this fat riff, and everybody there said it was the best band they've seen, best band they've heard. There was like 6 or 7 bands on, and I was like, we'll come back next week. Like, shit, let's perfect these 2 songs and turn that last one into a 3rd song. And we did that, and then somebody there was like a club promoter somewhere else, and we did that, and then he knew the guy who did the Varsity, and then we did like 10 gigs. It was like, what's going on? Yeah. And the 3 songs turned into 5, and then it turned into an EP. And then the guy who he did the editors and the twang, he was like a big Birmingham producer. He was class, and he says, "Yeah, I'll produce it." We had to pay him, but he was like, "I'll produce it." He was like, "How's this guy going to produce our music?" The first time I heard the songs, I think I was in Mexico, and he sent me the first mix. Mm-hmm. So wow, this is incredible. And then from there, we ended up on like a UK tour of like 26 dates. We played like 10 festivals. BBC Introducing picked us up and would play us on the sound waves. I ended up being invited to London, Maida Vale Studios and Abbey Road Studios as like the ones to watch out for in the future. Just very quickly, so I was doing that. So then we ended up booking our own tour, and say if I played against Cambridge on a Saturday, I'd book us to a gig in Cambridge on Saturday night, or Oxford or Stratford, and we'd do it like that. Lincoln, we'd book all these gigs, and then we ended up supporting like JLS at Stoke,
which is crazy.
Yeah. But again, that was just like it was an all-day event, and I was like, we need you to go on just before JLS. The Ordinary Boys, the Rifles, Scouting for Girls, which is triple platinum selling artist. I mean, they ended up doing our festival. So from all of this, in the football clubs, the chairman got in touch and they said, we want a rock festival at our event. Like, do you know anyone? I was like, well, I've played with these. And they wouldn't get them. And I was like, can I play? And I was like, yeah. So then we ended up putting on this huge festival with all these bands, like Wayne Stock. If you build it, they will come. just a surreal experience.
It is though, innit? Because all that whilst as well you're playing football.
Yeah.
Like when you tell, that's two separate stories.
Yeah.
There to me, that's two separate lives, and you were doing that at the same time. Like,
yeah, and I think maybe back then it would have been seen as a negative. Like now, everyone's got a side hustle. Like this whole Wrexham thing with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McKeary, what I think his name is, you know, the celebrity chairman, and they've took Wrexham from the conference. They'll be in the Premier League within a few seasons. And now players sign for the club because they say, oh, I want to release my clothing brand. I want to do a podcast. I want to promote this. And now they're signing for the club. So side hustles these days are seen as like a part of a selling tool to get players to a club. Back then it was like kind of frowned upon. It wasn't great that I was being seen to be doing two things because I just had to be a footballer.
The players, did they ever say anything to you? Or?
Yeah, I mean, people would take the piss, but then I had so thick skin back then from 30,000 fans chanting on my fat bastard to a donkey to a clown.
Something about sausage rolls, I've heard.
Sausage rolls stuffed down my sock. You had to get that one in.
Yeah, that's
Didn't
our mate Harry, innit?
Yeah. Which I would have loved a little sponsorship deal from. I don't think Greg's was a thing back then, to be honest.
Firkins, maybe.
I don't know. I think it was Sainsbury's sausage rolls or something back then.
Yeah, see, for me, I'm in my 20s, so
Look.
Greg's has always been a thing.
You got to be late 20s, mate, with that grey hair.
I'm 20s.
How do you want to say something, Buck? Yeah, I want to say, Dad. What made you want to get a dog? What made me want to get a dog?
It's a good question.
Regan, because you're a stinky, smelly dog. Oh, I'm sorry. I know. Go on.
Here he is. I don't know. I'm just happy looking at Buck, to be honest. Getting Buck on the show.
You got anything to say?
Again, he's at the first pod. Here he is. He's got to get involved again.
He's a good lad, isn't he?
The Buckadox will be the next one.
I've had to trim his eyes so he can see. He's a good lad.
Got long hair in he. His beard's long. And the hair on his nose.
Golden Doodle he is, for anyone asking, which is is it Golden Retriever or Golden Labrador? Golden Retriever
they're both the same
and a poodle.
Yeah.
They're not. I've researched this the other week. They are different, aren't they, Buck? Bless him.
No,
he's a good lad. He don't care. He thinks
lovely.
everyone's in the world to see him.
He has pulled that camera out though, so there's no wide shot on this episode. There was earlier, but it's gone.
Put the camera on you and I'll talk to the camera and I'll get him.
Well, here we go. So the camera's on me. All right, then here we go. There, you saw him. Is the live production problems that we have. I ain't sure what the problem is though. It's probably going to freeze on me now. Oh, fair enough. Battery's died. So there you go. That camera shot is gone, but we're back with our guest, Kyle Perry.
Thanks for having me.
The pro footballer, the musician.
Ex-pro footballer, ex-musician.
Well, you know, you can have them on your CV.
Yeah.
Like, because there's other bands in it. You said you've opened for Don Broco. So again,
Played
to
with
me,
some decent bands, yeah.
That's like a big band. That's like I'm not a massive fan of them. No offense. But like, do you know what I mean? I am a fan of them. I know of them.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like a casual everything, apart from wrestling.
Yeah.
But other than that, football casual. Like, yeah, I know bits and bobs.
So
music casual. Yeah, I know some bands and.
So what they
Nirvana's
do in
big
the
and that.
music scene is they typically, like, I don't know if they still do it, but they put 3 bands on. So you'll have your headline band, and then whoever's on the label with them, they'd have them supporting them. And they could be shit, but because they're on the label, they've got to promote them and get their followers up.
Yeah.
And then like a touring band or a smaller coming into the town, or say, if I was we was classed as a Birmingham band for some reason, so. You know, we'd play the Winding Wheel, I think it was, or I can't remember the other one by the canal in Brum. There was Class, and we'd sell them out. So if like a European band would come into the country or something, they'd put them with us.
Yeah.
So then we'd open for them, but we'd sell the tickets. But then their label would like us, or it was a tour manager. So it was like a tour manager, a label, and there was a third one. But mate, we was earning some decent money from it, but. I put it from the album. No, I put it from the EP, and then I got a band van, and it blew up. It just like the engine blew up. It was an old Stafford Grammar van, which I probably shouldn't say, but it was what it was. And then we got a second one, and then funnily enough, that festival was on about, that big festival. I was the day before for some reason, it was me taking the gear to the event. Now, when I went to scope the venue and everything the week, I'd drive my car in, and because I'm always rushing around, it was like these gates for like they look like a football goal. So you know when you go into these car parks, yeah. So I was driving out, driving in the next day, driving out. Next week later, I'm in this van, so I'm going to drive through. Bang! Rip the roof of the van. I took it right off, mate. And well, actually, it took it halfway off, and like everyone in these offices come out because it was I've not heard a noise like it in my life, and I just thought I'm gonna have to go for it. So I've hit the gas, ripped the van off, and it's like a sunroof. And it ended up on the front page of the paper, so everyone had their heads out the van. And I can't remember what the title was.
Did you use that as publicity? Because that would have been a brilliant publicity stunt.
No, it was on the front page of the paper.
And you like owned it and was like, the band's done this.
Yeah. It was like Perry raises the roof for charity events. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. And we were all like reading the paper and we were our heads out the van. I'll have it somewhere. I'll find it.
Yeah, man, because we should have that up somewhere.
That's a good idea. Yeah, we should put it up.
Here, really. There's a few things that's in this room that are, again, pretty good to you. You can't really see it, but on the ceiling you got like not all of your shirts. How many teams have you played for?
Oh, this is an interesting one. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
I think I can actually get the record. This is a record I could get, which ain't a great one. I think the record's 43 or 44, and I played for 36. And you know, you can play really semi-professionally till at least you're like 44, or you know, into your 40s.
Yeah.
If I got myself proper
You're
fit.
in your 30s?
Yeah, early 30s, mate.
Wow.
If there's any women out there watching.
This looks like it might have gone a bit blurry.
Me?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right.
It's because I've gone off camera and sat down. If you want to touch my face on that one.
All right, I will be back. It's on you. So, anyway, yeah, you've played for a lot of clubs.
Yeah. There you go.
Here we go. We're back. So yeah, you have played for a few clubs.
36 clubs, I think, at the end of the day. But
favourite one?
Well, I thought when you get to non-league, there's something called the 7-day rule. So you can play for somebody, and then 7 days, another team can put one in for you, and you can jump ship.
No way.
So if I never played 2 games, if I was scoring but the team weren't winning, I was the reason why they wasn't winning. It was
Even though you scored. Yeah.
I was.
Scapegoat.
And I've said this. Yeah, I've always said I'm like Marmite, and you've heard me say this.
Yeah.
I was the easy target because I was the biggest target.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got no legs up there. This will be the excuse. Oh, they're only kicking the ball forward because that's Kyle's up there. Where really I could play. I was good with my feet.
Yeah.
Any manager who's known me well. But best team. I love my time at Mansfield. I only stayed there a season. I got a lot of love for Port Vale because that was my first pro club. Altrincham, I had a couple of good seasons at Alty where I loved the manager, I loved the fans.
And is this because
Tamworth, loved my time at Tamworth.
Is this because of the areas they're in? Because obviously, did you have to move when you've travelled?
I did, yeah. And then I tried to travel as much as I could.
Because that's crazy as well. At like a semi-professional level, you've still got to pack up your life.
So all those were pro. So then it was your job. Yeah. So most of these are pro, apart from a Chase Town top, which is the shirt which made me, essentially.
And is that Chase Town up the road from us? Yeah.
So when we went on that cup run, it was the smallest team. It was like the David and Goliath story. Made national press. So do you remember like the booby magazines, FHM and Loaded?
Yeah.
We was like centre page spreading these magazines because we was like the Roy of the Rovers story of like anyone can do it. Even this little shitty place in the Midlands, Chase Town. We got to play Cardiff in round 3, and like there was some massive names playing for them. So I was on the front page of the papers, back of the papers. There was sponsorship deals, and I never made any money from that. I know the club made a bit, but what I got was a pro contract. So
well, even that though, they've got a sponsor here, Virgin Holidays.
Yeah, Virgin Holidays sponsored them.
Good sponsor.
The Sun sponsored the shorts. There's a back of the shirt sponsor.
Yeah.
There was on primetime TV, which was, however much.
Really,
there was a match of the day.
A little town up the road, which isn't not a big city, or it's not even anything. It's just a town. I think it's mad as well. I think I've mentioned this before, that you played in like the CocaCola League, which again I know nothing about football, but that's something I know of because that's when I used to watch it when I was a child. That
when you was a kid.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like when I was about 7 or 8, it was like the CocaCola League, and
it's funny you say that.
Now,
yeah. Well, I couldn't tell you what they're called now. But you see the little tags on the arm, the blue square, the Vauxhall Conference, the National League. But when I was at Tamworth, there was this big old brute come to me with a big beard, and he says, "Kyle, it's me, it's Sam." And like you can't remember all the fans' names. He says, "Will you have a picture with me again?" And I said, "What do you mean again?" So I'd always build a rapport with the fans. And he said, "This is the last time you was at Tamworth. Show me this picture." And he's like this little cute kid, and now he's this massive. He said, "This was," and it was like 6-7 years ago. I said, "What happened, mate?" I said, "So I'm just going about my business." And I mean, it's a tough one, but people's like last wishes and would be for you to go and see him in hospital. Yeah. At Hereford at Christmas, you'd take presents to the sick kids, and you don't see that side. So I'm sure Ronaldo, Beckham, and all them names was doing it, but even non-league teams, you're more like approachable. People can reach you and touch you, and it's tangible.
Well, I've told you, I'm pretty sure. I was out playing golf with some people. And I mentioned the podcast. Like, what do you do, mate? Oh, producing a podcast with this guy who used to be a footballer. Yeah. Oh, Kyle Perry. Oh my God, no way. Yeah, Kyle Perry. Yeah. Oh, they said, he's a non-league legend. And it's like, because to me, I know nothing about football. And now I'd consider you a friend. And it's like, it's just my mate. Like, don't stress. But he's here going, oh my God, I'm going to subscribe. What's it called? This and that. Oh, can you connect on me on LinkedIn and stuff? And it's like, what? Like, because to me, you're just
strange.
You're just a guy. Like, you're just my mate who
I am to me as well.
Do a show with. Whereas to this guy, you're like his hero. And I think there's a few other people who we've met who are like that.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
Yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, when you played here, and I used to watch you at Telford all the time, and it's like, I guess you don't realise how much of an impact you playing on a pitch has had. For some people.
Because it's secondary, isn't it? Yeah. All you're doing is a kid trying to play football.
Yeah.
And then from it, you meet all these characters and all these people, and you have effects. There's fans who have got to become friends, and they send my son a present every birthday, every Christmas. And there's people like that. There's people who always reach out to you, follow you. So I've got a lot of connections. And then when you start things like this, they'll always support you. Yeah. There was always the first one to buy tickets to my gigs. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
It's good, isn't it? You need people like that.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at my first guest, Josh Gordon. He was a non-league footballer who I helped. I helped him in the game, and now he's a professional footballer. So I grew up as a Walsall fan. Now he's like Walsall's star striker, playing every week. So that's kind of a pinch me thing. And things like Scott Lindsay, he was my football manager back in the day, or the assistant, and then he's gone on to do great things in the game. Yeah. James Belshaw, really good keeper, and I know you as the producer, you don't want me to give any names away, but, there's guests coming on in the future episodes who I think our audience will be impressed with and happy with, and there's lots of stories to tell. But
I think there's some good guests who you've got relationships with already, and there's some good guests coming up who you haven't. I mean, there's been, I've got the list here, so there's been 14 episodes, I believe, altogether, so I've joined in about halfway through or whatever. But again, there's some of these where you didn't know them. We've reached out because of the podcast, tried to get them on, and now some of them you're messaging quite regular. And
it's quality.
It's crazy how it works, isn't it? And how stuff. But you went to the third one, episode 3. So how does it even begin, the podcast? So you've got Josh Gordon.
Yeah, good question.
You go to him and you say, hello, mate, I want to do a podcast. Will you come on?
So I've planted the seed for a long time. And, I don't want to say he owes me a favour. Nobody owes me a favour. But I've wanted to do this for a while. And, I keep saying the word cathartic. I find it cathartic. I've been through a thing or two the last few years, losing my mum, my dad losing the plot, my family falling apart. And I just think now was the time. It's good. I think it's good to talk.
Yeah.
And sometimes people say, "Why are you telling me all this?" Sometimes you meet me and I say, "How's your day?" And I'll say, "Well, I've had the worst day ever." I'd said it to you before, didn't I, with my lad in there? Because my lad's had a really bad day at school. It's been a nightmare. And you've asked him how he is. And he said, "Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for asking." So now, Riggs, just be honest. And he's like, yeah, it was a really tough day. It was brutal. I went for.
You know what though? I think he gets that from you as well, because a load of stuff's happened and he's just going, yeah, let's play through. Yeah, I'm good. And you do that as well. I was thinking, I don't want to say it because I don't want anyone to feel like embarrassed, but I was like, he's exactly like you. 100%, because that's exactly what you would do. You'd just go, yeah, I'm fine. I mean, so me and Kyle were involved in a car accident together. I'm here like, I'm in hospital. Oh, God, I can't walk. Kyle, yeah, I'm
Tuesday.
fine. Yeah, I'm back in work. I'm like, you're making me look bad here.
Yeah, I know.
This was a serious accident.
And people would tell me, saying, what's it about? I was like, yeah. And they'll say, well, what's up? So it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
I've got to go and get my lad. I've got to do this. I've got to get this. I've got to pay this.
And you've said that to me where you go, it's just another day.
Yeah.
Like, it's all hit the fan and you've gone, all right, next day.
Yeah.
Here
Even
we go, let's go again.
today, this situation, really, it's ridiculous. But you just got to keep moving forward. I loved what you said. I said it to my new recruits today, Jamie and Abby, like, we was talking about.
They'll be happy with that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I've given them a shout out there. They love that.
Shall I get the Instagrams up for them? They'll be loving that.
Yeah, Jamie will.
Put that on the LinkedIn.
And I was telling them your analogy for me about like it rains and you just got to keep walking, And I love that because that is what I do. And you're good at painting these visual pictures. You're like, what did you say? You're not jealous, or you sometimes. You look at that and think, how does he just keep walking through it? Yeah, but I suppose that's always been my mentality and philosophy. That's when I say the sword and the shield stuff. You've just got to keep going to war. You've just got to keep going through the door, keep moving forward.
Tough, though, innit? Again, it's that thing I mentioned earlier, the mental. Maybe the football's helped you out with 20,000, it's built you this.
Yeah.
But I bet there's some people who would have that happen in the first game, have 20,000 people, and they'll come back and go, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't. And then the next day, or whenever, the next game, they'll go, I can't go out. Anxiety will kick in.
Mate, some of the best footballers in the world stuff.
100%. You've got to have a bit of both. You've got to have the character and the skill. And I think that's probably.
What is it? Is it a Rocky film? Is it where he gets knocked and he stands back up with his fist and you get knocked down and they stand back up?
And he says,
I've kind of had that in me. It's this old school mentality.
Yeah.
And it is a dying breed, it's a snowflake world we live in now. But
I don't know if you can say that. That'll get us cancelled.
He'll get me cancelled, won't he?
I was off the screen then. Just so anyone knows, anything Kyle says, I'm not associated in any way. I'll just click the buttons.
Yeah.
That's it.
Viewer discretion. That's what I've been advised to put on the descriptions. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, there's been a few tough topics in there.
There's been learning curves, and I love this. So like the Pezzadox. I love the Pezza, Kyle Perry, paradox. I love this like alternate way of looking at stuff. And I do enjoy my philosophy and conspiracies and whatnot. So that's where the Pezzadox come from. And I was looking for its purpose. Like, why do I get the guests on? I do get on. And it comes back to this authenticity. Mm-hmm. I want authentic characters, personalities to just live the true selves, because I do think we're kind of living in this filtered world. I'm trying to be politically correct.
Yeah.
So getting these characters on. And I mean, even recently with, the ex-MP of 20 plus years, unbelievable achievement.
Knighted.
He's been knighted.
Yeah.
Sir Michael. And I just think, we took us for a beer, didn't we? Had a lovely chat afterwards, showing us messages from Boris and whatnot. You was starstruck.
Was I?
Yeah.
Was I? Because
he's a big conservative.
I was there asking him stuff, and you going, you go ask him that. He was a really important guy. I'm like, just show me your phone.
Yeah.
Just show me your phone. I want to see.
But I mean, the point is, like, I didn't vote him. I voted for the other. And even now, I'm trying to be selective of what I say, just in case I get flags on the account. So it's a learning curve for me, for Whirl. We're experiencing new things every week. Obviously, as the channel grows, it's important to adapt and pivot. We don't want to be too disruptive. We want to give people a voice. So on TikTok and Instagram, people are asking why I'm not challenging, people more, but I don't think that's my role or responsibility. I think I need to give them a platform. I think I will challenge them if I see it's fit, but I just think giving them let them be their true authentic self.
Yeah, everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Yeah, who's right?
Opinion.
Yeah, who's right?
So in my opinion, I'm allowed to have that opinion, and if someone disagrees, you're allowed to disagree as well. That's what I think the world should be. It's not what it is, because there's Again, I don't want to say too much just in case I get arrested. Cause that seems to be a thing nowadays.
Yeah.
But so I got to bring it back because we were on about how it started. So you said you had the idea to do it. You were dropping seeds. But did you always have this cabin and stuff like that?
No, I built the cabin for this. Yeah, this was purpose built. So I had a couple of cameras. I had a couple of the microphones from the band days. I had a concept. I had an idea. I know how I wanted to deliver it. I wanted to do it from, I think, 2012.
Which is mad. I was in school.
Yeah. So I was probably I don't want to say I was one of the first, but when Mr. Beast was first jumping on YouTube and Logan and his brother was doing Twitch, I was like, there's something here. This is taking off. And I do pride myself. I think I do see patterns. I call it patterns. And I just felt like this YouTube was going to be something big. But because I had this persona, which kind of held me back, the football thing, and I was chasing the band, I always say I felt like I was going for a home run. And this is kind of like a home run. But with this is more like a consistency thing, isn't it? So I think at that time I had to pick and choose. I was doing this, I was doing that, and there wasn't time for this or whatever.
This is only about a year old, isn't it?
If that really, I mean, a month in this. This was my dream. This was my dream.
Yeah.
And what, a month and a half?
Yeah, 6-7 weeks. Or so. Yeah, about 2 months.
So where it goes from there?
In about another month, because obviously before it was.
Yeah,
there was
you want to get it right.
They're in between episodes, a month here, a couple of weeks, maybe 2 months. So there was, like you say, the consistency's improved now because we can do things better with two of us rather than just yourself.
The dream is that we want to shoot it live, but that's a learning curve. I want to stream it on TikTok and Instagram and Twitch.
And take it on the road. If we get someone, so I've been dropping messages to people.
Yeah.
One of them, who again, we're both fans of wrestling, Chris Jericho. I'm only mentioning him so we can tag him. Hopefully he might see.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can travel. We can take this setup.
I'm going to call him out. Get the camera on me. Y2J. I know you're touring. You're in Wolverhampton in February next year. I want to see you on the Pezzadox. Be there or be a square.
No, I'm going to... Please, come on the show. Just... Come on, man. I'd come on your show if you come on this one. Just help a brother out. And there we go.
So I've got to be careful that you don't turn this into a wrestling podcast.
Well, yeah.
Who would be your ideal guests?
If I could pick one guest, well, we have had John Cena follow us recently, so he'd be a good one, especially if he stayed in character. Now, you always mention Bonnie Blue, and I do think it would be an interesting talk. I think she's very, very fascinating.
So, yeah, I had Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips because I am... I'm intrigued by the business model. So this is the same kind of thing as me understanding YouTube is going to kick off and go crazy. And I just think this OnlyFans, this subscription service where you're no longer an adult entertainer. Do you know what I mean? Working for a company.
Yeah.
You have your own. You can own your own brand. This personal brand thing's big, and I think this OF model is incredible.
Some of them are in like companies though, so they've got that,
yeah. Well, this is where companies are realising, hold on, I could get 10 males or females, and I can build their personal brands, and I can take a percentage.
Do you not see it as kind of like pimping, in a way?
Well, no.
If a guy is saying, "Oh, I'm going to get 10 girls."
Who said it's a guy? And who said it's a woman?
There's a guy, Jack Doherty. Have you heard of him?
No.
He that's what he does basically. That's how he's made his money. He's probably like younger than me. He's in his mid-20s, I would imagine. And he's just got a load of OnlyFans girls, set them all up, kind of thing, and he's making money. And to me, that is like pimping. And
I think credit to him and credit to them.
If it's legal and he's doing it, he's doing his thing, man. He's making money.
I don't think Bonnie's not doing anything illegally either.
No, you're not doing anything wrong. I just
we had this chat earlier. There was that art piece, wasn't there, a few years back, where a woman stood naked, and I think it was a town centre or an art gallery, and she had a sign saying, you know, this is in the name of art. Do what you want, and she was more or less essayed by every single person. Now, this is just me, and I'm not trying to play the hero. I probably would have put a coat on her. I probably would have got her a drink, and I'm sure some people did that. But it seems like the majority of people kind of took advantage, and that just breaks my heart.
Do you think as well, because this is like a media thing now,
Yeah.
this is, if she was doing it for 12 hours, if for 9 hours it was people helping her out, but for 3 hours it wasn't, do you reckon she would just show the 3?
No, possibly,
to
but
get the
she
attention?
spoke about it. She spoke about how she was surprised, shocked
Well, yeah, I mean, it's,
by she said
my
women
opinion.
were doing it. She said it was everyone.
it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
older men, younger men, women.
strange world.
Yeah.
I'm going to pivot back again.
Go on
We're
then.
still on about the first
Yeah.
show. How did it come about? So you drop him a message.
Yeah, oh mate, I was panicking. I was worried, out of my comfort zone.
I believe you, because you were panicking when we first started it together as
So
well.
imagine running 3 cameras, the audio, trying to make it look good and presentable and not like a shit show.
'Cause
And
it does as well look good.
Yeah.
Even from before when I was
I
there.
appreciate it,
It's a professional looking. I think the setup, it looks, to me, looks good.
I think we can do a little bit more. I think we can
100%.
improve it. Yeah, but I
there's
think as a
always
starting point,
improvements, but
I
I
think
do
we've
think it looks good.
talked about the old Joe Rogan podcast as well, where we do have the ability to pull stuff up on the screen. So eventually, I want to say, "Will pull up so and so."
Yeah.
But I mean, like at the minute, we're so full on. It's been like 6 weeks of like relentless. You know, the numbers have been fantastic. Hopefully, they'll continue to grow.
Yeah.
And we'll get more of it.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. So he comes here. Did you explain what it was? 'Cause, I mean, I feel like the first guest's probably always the most difficult because you've got to sell them.
You know what it
on
is?
it.
You know
Or-
what it
or
is?
do you not?
Trust. You know what it is? Trust. And I love that in Josh. I'm like, mate, I want to try something. I know it's going to, he says, I believe you, whatever you need. And I was like, I want to start a podcast, a YouTube show. I need a guest of like a decent caliber. You know, would you come and be my first? He said, tell me time and place.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
And
And
again,
then I
it
did
shows
it-
every
yeah.
respects you
Yeah.
to do that for you. Do you know what I mean?
And then again, like everyone, you're just as nervous as the one before. Scott Lindsay, you know, he was a football league manager at the time. Then, I mean, he still is now. But then I'm saying, Scott, so I play a charity event and I see him. And he's like, oh, that was fantastic. That was Kyle. I watched that the other day. He said it was some of the stories. He says it really touched me. And I went, mate, I'd love to have you on. And he went, Tuesday?
No.
And
way.
I went, mate, that would be unbelievable. He drove down from, I think it was Milton Keynes or Crawley. He drove like 2 hours to see me.
Yeah.
We shot the breeze for a couple of hours, drove 2 hours back. And like his story, wow, what a powerful story Scott Lindsay's was.
Yeah.
And he's one of these authentic people I talk about. One of these characters where you spend a bit of time with him, you're like, wow, that bloke is a true geezer.
Yeah. I mean, and again, so traveling 2 hours to do it because, I mean, it just shows like what he's willing to do to
Yeah.
help you out because I guess he gets to chat and
Yeah, he didn't need to do it. He didn't need to do it.
And I get for everyone.
He actually says, I hope he helps you out. He said,
Yeah.
I hope it does well for you.
Well, I think we've had a few guests as well
Yeah.
say that. So James Belshaw, any
Harrogate keeper, mate, fantastic. So again, same kind of thing. He was like, this looks class.
yeah,
I was like, mate, love to have you on. And he says, yeah, I've got a story to tell. I want to tell you.
good.
So, mate, when are you free? It's Friday. Yeah, come
And
and
again,
do it.
all these people can go
Yeah.
go and watch them. You know what I mean? Go back and watch. They're all there on YouTube. Make sure you like them and everything like that. Just go back and watch these.
This is what I love, man. I love the adventure. So, like, who knows what's around the corner? And I love that. I love that in life. So, as I say now, I'm in my 30s. I'm still single. I don't know what's around the corner. I didn't know I'd be working at the place I am now with you, meeting you.
Yeah.
And I love the unknown. So just the last few guests we've had, I'm sure you're going to reel them off.
Yeah,
but
yeah, we'll
go
so
for it then.
John O'Brien as well.
John O'Brien. So this is at a time, you know, playing non-league football. John O'Brien was a non-league footballer.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ended up being selected to go on Dating Naked UK. And I was like, mate,
That takes.
he was on MTV every week, and now it's one. You know, at one point it was one of the biggest shows in America. And I'm like, mate, is there any chance? And he says, Pezza, of course. Like, tell me a time and a place. Called him on. He ended up winning Dating Naked UK. He won 50k. I don't know if I should say this, but he turns up with a girl he won with.
What?
So, yeah. So she's in here as well, but she didn't want to go on the camera. And she says, I'm shy. I said, you was just on Dating Naked UK. I just watched you naked for like 6 weeks. She says, no, but I'm shy on camera. So she's sitting in the corner, yeah. And
So she's just sitting.
she was sitting there, the old show naked.
Naked, yeah.
They was both naked still? No, they had clothes on. But yeah, that was surreal.
So Ash Sheeran. So
Ash
far,
Sheeran.
these first 4 have all been football-based, didn't they?
Yeah.
So Ash Sheeran.
So this was an interesting pivot for Ash. I've been friends with Ash on Facebook for many, many years. So again, when I first got into the music scene, he was another one who did his own thing. So he'd play club nights. He'd take his drum on a club night and play in the middle of a club, and then he'd go and play with his band on a Saturday night, and then they'd be supporting us. We'd be supporting them. As the careers have gone separate ways, he ended up being picked to be the drummer for the Twang, massive Birmingham band. Yeah. Now he's the drummer for Glenn Hughes' travelling band. Glenn Hughes is a massive old rock star in America. So he flies out to America and does tours in front of 60,000, 80,000. And then he comes and does this little show. But again, after he was buzzing his tits off.
Yeah.
He said, like, the catharticism from that show, he says it made me feel like really good. Talking about his uncle. He loved talking about his uncle, and I thought that was special. He was sharing stories, you know. He come to my house the day after, he ordered 2 days after, and he was like, let's do something. And he brought one of his pals who was from up in Manchester and was speaking about potentially doing something going forward and that. But, it inspired him, and I've saw that from talking to guests. They're inspired when they leave the show, and I love that.
Well, everyone who's been on always says as soon as the cameras are cut, oh, that was brilliant, that was.
Yeah, well, Mad Dog, we did more with Mad Dog after the show than on the bloody show.
We'll get to him, don't worry. Tom Tonks is next.
Tonksy.
Spoke about him.
Yeah,
recently.
Tonksy, great lad, local lad. So he was always a non-league lad playing lower down, and he's done really well the last few years. Last season, playing for Telford in the National League. Tonksy's got one of the longest throws in the Football League. That's Tonksy's gimmick. That's his catch. And they ended up playing Tottenham in the FA Cup on telly, main time TV. He had a kid at the same time, so he wanted to come on, talk about football, talk about Wolves. He loved Wolves.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, he still messages me now, and he's like, so he's got a full-time job. This is what you think. So he's been on Match of the Day and on TV live, playing in front of thousands every week. Drives a food truck, and he's saying, Pezza, can you get me in your company so I could deliver sandwiches in the morning, based in Wolverhampton? He says, I'd love to bring the sandwiches round and get everyone, on the. See what I can do. I'll talk to the MD. But things like that,
It's crazy, isn't it? 'Cause you don't think of.
No.
You never see, because again, it's this thing when that guy says, oh, he's a local legend, he's a hero. You never look at your heroes and think, they'll be doing just a normal.
Yeah.
You almost put them on a pedestal, don't you? You put them up here. When in reality, everyone's on the same level, really. Everybody.
Yeah. I've done the same thing, If you've got a lower paid job, you can get the car, but then the car runs out of steam, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Got a higher paid job, you get a better car, but the car still runs out of steam. You still got a mortgage, you just have a bigger house.
Yeah.
The money just goes. You go on a night out, you don't spend 200 quid, you spend 2,000.
Yeah. Next up, Mark Briggs.
Briggsy, again, cross paths with him back in the day. So this was at a time. So after my little stint at Telford, scored loads of goals. The manager rings me in the summer. He says, yeah, it's not really working. I think you need to go and find another side. I said, what? I said, we just won the league. I scored the most goals anyone's scored. You was bottom. And again, he was saying, well, your attitude, you don't have a good attitude. I said, no, you're trying to tell me I'm not good enough. I'm trying to give you the ammunition. I'm big on metrics and statistics. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, that I never played a pivotal part. I watched from that point, I watched podcasts of him talking about that stint and winning the league. He didn't mention me once. I was like, I played every single game. I was a top scorer. It's so weird. And I'm not driven by ego, but sometimes you got to think, this doesn't add up here. You know what I mean? But from there, he didn't get me out the door. The next manager did. So he got the sack. They brought in a new manager, and at the end of that season, they said all the strikers we've got all compete, and I think there was 6 strikers. And he says, we don't have favourites, all compete, whoever scores the most goals. We're looking for next season. I think I scored 12. I think I scored the most. One of them was like 3 goals, scored a 6-minute hat-trick off the bench, ridiculous. I thought, thank God for that, challenging myself. I get a text in the summer Not for us, Pez. All the best. I'm like, wow. What am I going to do?
It.
Yeah, that's it. So I thought, you know what? I said, I'm done. I'm not playing it. I don't enjoy it. And at this stage, I'm like, just turning 20, experienced more in like a few. I've already won leagues. I've already been top scorers, picked up awards, did the stints at Walsall, non-league. I thought, you know what? I'm done. And I made friends with a chap called Danny McGee at this. Okay, sorry, I'm missing a stage. So I went from Telford. A good friend of mine, Terry Brumpton, who I've stayed in touch with for years. He does the programmes. He was the chairman of Hensford at the time. He says, come and play for us. But the chairman signed me. The manager didn't, who was Phil Starbuck. And I've gone in. I've cracked my rib in the first game. And he's like, you're just weak. He was saying shit to me and he was always drinking. So you're just weak for me. And I was like, first league game was the week after. And I was like, I'm going to have to play. Played the first league game. Probably didn't do myself any favours because I've got a cracked rib. I didn't sleep for a week because you can't. If you crack your rib, you can hardly sleep. And at the end of the game, I think we lost. He says, "Can I have a chat with you?" I says, "Yeah, of course." So I go and sit in his office like this, you know, young 20-year-old, and he just walks in, gets a beer out the fridge, and says, "You're not for me." He walks out the room, and that's me getting released. I'm like, wow, like I've had bad. I've had unbelievable. So at Telford, there was like 7,000 fans towards the end in the final. So I'm experiencing this, you know, large fan base. And then at Hensford, I was like, I'm done now. Don't want to play anymore. It's crap. I want to put my energy into something else I know I can be successful in. Met a lad called Danny McGee, who's now living in America. He started Global Street Soccer. He's got soccer schools in America. He's got a podcast in America. At some point, we're going to do like a little link up. He's a great lad. He says, I've just signed for Willinghall, Mel Eves, Wolves, ex-legend, Dean Edwards. Come on down. We've got a couple of your old scholarship lads here. Says, I'm not interested. He went, there's a game tonight. Just come and play. I went, honestly, I don't care. I'm not interested anymore. They said, just come and have one game. Like, we're struggling for a striker. Just come down. It's your old pals. I know you don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. He was on his last legs. He don't want to play. And I was like, okay, I'll come, mate. For you. I'll come for you. And I go down and I walk in the dressing room and there's Dino, Platty, Brucey, all from my scholarship as a kid. And like they all laugh when I walk in because, you know, they've saw the shit I've gone through and what I've done. And they're like, no way. And there was another lad, Matthew Barnes, Almar, who went on to play for Luton in the dressing room. It was his first game. Top of the league clash. We was Willinghall, not a point, bottom of the league. Playing Stourbridge, High Flyers, big budget, top of the league. We beat them 6-3 or something. I scored an hat-trick. Barnesy scored 2. The managers at the end give me this massive, you know, we're planning on doing this, we're doing that. We want to get you in. They give us the sales pitch, which I've learnt such a blag over the years. Stayed really good friends with both these managers, by the way. We'll probably get Mel on at some point and Dean if he's floating about. They've got so many stories, mate. Great blokes. They said, we're looking for a centre-back. Do you know what we can do? Ended up getting my brother in. So my brother's a centre-back. So then it turned into the most amazing season of getting pissed, you know, on a Saturday night, on a Thursday night. Some of the training sessions, my mate Finlay, he was training in Dr. Martin boots. We had the headlights on the cars on the car park because we couldn't train. It was proper like non-league and nothing I experienced like that. Dirty, nowhere to change, nobody liked us, no money. I thought, this is class, this is gritty. And then we'd all go out and party together. But in that dressing room was Briggsy. Briggsy was one of the lads. And obviously we struck up a friendship there. Then over the years, he progresses into management, progresses on moving into America, progresses on to being a successful football manager in the American League under the main league. And he was back over visiting family. And I was like, mate, he says, say no questions, tell me where, and then, yeah.
That's a brilliant one, though, isn't it? Like doing, like going to America and all that.
Yeah, so he came over, saw his family, did this. He says, you know, my missus is shopping up the road. You know, I've got an hour and a half. Let's go.
What, McArthur or something?
Yeah.
Mad. Next on the list, Mad Dog.
Mad Dog. So
a lot more with Mad Dog.
We're probably going down memory lane, aren't we? So I was a geek, mate. I loved my wrestling as a kid. You know, I always talk about that Mick Foley Undertaker Hell in a Cell moment. I think that was like a a pivotal point in time. Maybe we split into an alternate dimension from that moment. Like, things have been crazy. But I was like, I need to try this. And my other best mate was a huge wrestling fan growing up. So we had a backyard federation, BVW, Bloody Violet Wrestling. So I'd finish mechanic district matches on a Saturday. Then we'd go and do our backyard fed. Part of that was we'd go and raid the shops for cardboard boxes. That half end up as the wrestling mat, half end up as tables. Yeah. I had a VHS camera, so I used to play with my plasticine back in the day, do slow-mo footage, and then that's what we used to shoot it. My mate, I don't know how he did it back then, but he'd create like the Rock and Austin montages with this music. No. But he'd film it onto a tape, put the tape in the telly, film the telly, and then keep doing that process of filming the telly until he had the edit of like the cut, the montage, and then he'd put it into the tape, film the telly whilst he's playing the music, like Limp Bizkit, My Way, or something like that. And then that would be the video montage to go on before the next event. It's mind-blowing stuff what you had to do.
Because to go through that effort to that. Did he ever go into like video editing or anything?
Nah,
Somebody would have been brilliant.
What is he now? He's a driver. He's a truck driver now.
And you mentioned Limp Bizkit. They're in the UK soon.
Imagine getting Fred Durst
so
on.
I'm going to shout that one out.
Yeah.
Get a tag in. Fred, I'll be in Leeds. You've got to come to Cannock. That's fair enough.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to Leeds to watch him. Yeah, just gotta see him.
You got to do it, ain't you?
Yeah. So if I'm going there, he's got to come here, innit?
Yeah,
the
no, I
polite
agree.
thing to do. I know you're a polite guy. You got to do it.
He was at the wrestling the other day, wasn't he?
Yeah. He's missing him when he flips off the camera and gets kicked out. Yeah, it's good. It's a good one.
Because who was the musician in the ring?
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
SummerSlam, Jelly Roll and against Logan Paul.
I think it was he in SmackDown as well not long ago, and Logan Paul like shuts it all down and.
Yeah. No, that was class. That was a decent segment.
Yeah, he's really good. To be fair,
Who?
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul's class, mate. I'm so jealous.
Yeah,
I'm not jealous, but I'm like so like.
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like honestly, you call fault the guy, and I know he's got a lot of hate, but he's just.
You think he's bothered with the money he's got?
Well, I think as well he's got the hate, but again, it's similar to you. It's the people on the sides who aren't doing what he's doing, and they're going, "Hey, why are you doing that? Oh my god!" Always bringing up his old past. And
he has made mistakes. Don't get me wrong, he has made mistakes.
Who hasn't?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I think he's really good. He's brilliant. And this wrestling stuff, he's just been a natural, in my opinion. Again, some people might disagree and go, "That's not wrestling. This is wrestling."
This is what it is about, like him and Speed. I'm a big fan of Speed as well. And watching him, like watching Logan before the wrestling and watching him click into the, I'm like, oh, this guy's going to kill it. I knew him, before. I'm like, this guy, I'm so jealous because I know how he's going to he's going to get it and it's just going to click. So he will be champ, mate. He'll run the show if he wants to.
It's inevitable, which I'm not fully happy with.
But he'll be like The Miz. Look at The Miz. He's got the respect to the dressing room. So I've learned this with football. Like, there's a change of the tides and the class changes.
Yeah.
And then when he gets to that stage of the class, the new class look up to him.
Well, yeah.
So by the time Logan's there, everyone's going to be looking to him for inspiration.
He'll be. Oh, he's been there like 4 years now, I think.
Yeah.
So there's people coming up from NXT or whatever and going, well, you've been here 4 years. What should we do at WrestleMania? You've been it 3 of them, 4 of them, whatever it is. So yeah, I can see it, but I think it's just. It reminds me of David Arquette, who again needs to come on the show if he's ever in the UK. If you're passing Wolverhampton, drop me a message. Let me get my.
You've got it loaded up.
Hey, follow me on Instagram. Make sure, David, drop me a message. There we go.
How long have you been waiting for that, mate?
I'll do yours now. Here you go. I am Kyle Perry. Give him a follow.
Oh, look at the Willadox. I'm going to put it on the title, mate. I need to change this, then I get the Willadox out.
The Willadox. We need to do the intro. Change that.
But I mean, like watching Speed, when I first seen him and he was barking, I'm like, who's this guy? So, like, just being inquisitive, watching him, I'm like, he's got something. He knows something. And I watched him go from like 15 million to 23 to 27. Yeah. He's just at 42 or 44.
I think there is.
And then he's in the WWE. And I'm like, he's not stupid, this guy.
I think there is a difference though between Logan Paul and Logan Paul is really good at what he does. He's a good business person. He's creative, this and that. Is he the nicest person? I've never met the guy.
Yeah.
But his character, from what I see, obviously in the wrestling, and it is a character.
Yeah.
so I can't even judge him on it. Whereas Speed, what you see of Speed, and he's out in the thing and he's really friendly to everyone, taking pictures with people. I saw something where he picked someone's pint up and it went dodgy.
Yeah.
And he went, here's some money, get a new one.
one.
And the guy's like, no. And he goes, no, here's the money, and just gives it him and walks off. And it's like, he's just a genuinely nice person. Do you know
He's
what
just
I mean?
done one of the best streams I've ever watched. He went to Turkey. Do you like your TikTok and stuff?
So
There's this guy who's gone viral the last few years, and he makes food and he just looks at the camera, and he's just looking at the camera doing that.
Yeah.
He was the host for Speed in Turkey. This guy did the best tour of Turkey, the food, the little kind of cool things they did. It was impressive, man. But yeah, I suppose Logan, Speed, and then the two I like. There's a bloke called Billy Moore and Charlie Veach. Now Charlie Veach is a bit more questionable, but again they're authentic. Yeah. And for me, I watch them on YouTube. They walk around town centres and they show you the brutality of what the town centre has become. And I watched it and I think I'd love our government to watch this because they're so out of tune to what's going on. And I watched one the other day and it was like there was this part protesting about this thing. There was this religion protesting about this. I was like, what's going on? And there was just loads of homeless people lying on the streets.
It's crazy.
Shops boarded up. And I was like, this is like the start of an apocalyptic film. This is. And this is our town centres.
It is, because everything's online now, isn't it? This is all online. Nobody watches TV like they used to. It's all online, shopping, Amazon, get it next day. Why bother going to the shops when you can just get it sometimes the same day if you've got Prime? Do you know what I mean?
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Why? And it's no extra cost, free delivery, so you get sometimes a better price.
Yeah.
And you get to stay indoors, and do you know what I mean? It's tough to fight. It's like the AI stuff, and it's all going down that direction. And
so that's something I'd say let's embrace. Let's embrace AI. It will change everything as we know it.
100%.
But I think we're at a stage where everything's broke. I think we're at a stage where it's completely broke. How do you come back from it? Now you can't survive. Nobody can survive. Everyone, by the time you get paid, you're already in your overdraft.
Yeah.
How do you survive?
Well, let's carry on. Next one. Tyler Denny. So you played a game with him.
Played a charity match with him.
Yeah. So is that the first time you'd met him, the charity match?
Is it the first time I've met him? So we do have mutual friends. I have some friends who went and watched him at Wembley. And this is when I started the pod. This is when he was on the undercard for Anthony Joshua, Usyk maybe, or Dubois.
Was it? Like you say, it was at Wembley, weren't it?
So in front of 80,000, 90,000 fans. Local hero. So this is another thing. Pride of the Black Country, man. There's so many legends within this area. So again, pivoting Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Ozzy Osbourne. I'd love all these. Stan Collymore, all these local legends. And from doing this, I'm realising there was local legend wrestlers from the 80s and the 70s around here. Put Cannock back on the map. I'm in a location which is accessible for the north and the south. There's not many podcasts which have that. You either have to go to London or go right up there.
Yeah.
But no idea what the question was. Tyler Denny.
Tyler Denny, yeah. He was a really good guy as well.
European middleweight champion, mate.
And this is so humble.
This is one of the biggest boxing accolades you can get.
Yeah.
And he's the nicest guy. And again, I was inundated with messages after that show saying what a genuine bloke, what an inspiration. Yeah. And I felt like I knew that anyway, just by the charity match. Because everyone's a bit shy in these things when you're playing with comedians, reality TV stars, local legends, and he's one of the biggest names there, and he's one of the most friendly, chatty geezers.
No ego, just a good guy. Messaged me on Instagram as well afterwards.
There you go.
Know what I mean? Afterwards, we were speaking to him for ages, just talking about vegetarianism, video games, wrestling, everything. And then I'm pretty sure as well, he was even like, "Oh yeah, come down and train if you want."
Yeah,
it's like, what a guy! Honestly, really good guy.
And he's a beast as well, isn't he? Have you seen him?
Yeah.
Have you watched his Guy Ritchie trailer yet? Through his promo,
I haven't.
Where he's set on fire.
I followed him on Instagram. I saw he posted something recently in his
makeup. Did you see that? Set on fire. It looks class.
Did I watch it? Maybe I did. I can't remember.
Maybe.
I don't remember, to be totally honest. Sasha from Maths. This was a mad one.
So I've watched Maths, Married at First Sight.
You're gonna go on it, didn't you?
No, I love.
She said she was going to set you up with a producer. She
said she was going to set me up for Love Is Blind on Netflix. But yeah, trying to reach out to her dad and reach out to her, and then
we saw her.
We went to the rest. We just went and shot the breeze.
Went out, yeah.
Went and shot the breeze, watched the wrestling, and she was there watching it.
Crazy.
Because her brother's a wrestler. Yeah. Now, what's the chances of that?
And you briefly spoke to her, but I didn't even speak to her that day.
Yeah. So this is at a time I'm playing these kind of charity celebrity games, and I could have ended up with the bloke she married, Alexander, or what's his name? Lovely chap anyway, big chap. Like Orson, I think his name was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then we go to this event, and she's like, yeah, let's do it. And, that was do you want to touch on what happened after it? Or
Yeah, so...
Don't think that where you think this is going, you are 100% wrong.
Yeah, so should we come back to mine?
Yeah, she come back to yours. Late at night.
Yeah, late at night, obviously. She wanted to see my 5 cats.
Yeah.
There you go. So I message my girlfriend at the time and I say, do you mind? So we used to watch maths every week, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, get home, watch it, eat our tea, watch it, yep. And I just message her, do you mind if Sasha comes back? And she's like, I'm in my pajamas. Yeah. And I'm like...
Did she get changed?
No.
Stayed in them?
No, she's
chill.
Authentic again, that's why I like doing it.
Did she believe you though?
I don't... I guess so, because she knows obviously we're doing this. She knows the guests. Obviously, you guys will find out who the guests are later on, because we still got some good ones coming up. But yeah, she just said if she wants to, and I was like, yeah, she really wants to come and see the cats, because she had 2 cats. One passed away, unfortunately. So yeah, she came round, stroking all the cats and everything, and I said to Amy, I said, we used to watch. You
Sasha. Never said it to Sasha. You never fanboyed.
No. I'm cool, I'm calm, cool and calm. But I said, I said to Amy, we used to watch Sasha on the TV, and now she's just sat in our kitchen playing with the cats.
Yeah,
isn't it? Isn't life just weird?
Well, I said Sasha from Maths played with your pussy.
In theory, that is accurate. In theory, that's
I'm not being sexual innuendo. She was playing with your pussy. That's it.
Yeah, that's a true statement. Yeah, that will get you demonetised because it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fact check. Tick.
It's just verified. That's what we need to put on a T-shirt.
Yeah. She was all right as well. She was friendly, wasn't she?
She's top guy. Yeah, we spoke a lot afterwards.
Because she spoke to you a lot in messages, didn't she?
Yeah.
And then she spoke to me on the way here, and then as soon as the show was done, I think she just wanted to get to see the cats. So you said, didn't you? Oh, I didn't even get to speak to her because of you.
I thought that was interesting. So yeah, she rocked up. We did the show, and I thought, okay, that was. Yeah, he was professional. She's probably done a lot of them. But then after it, he was talking a lot, communicating a lot, talking about the things we was talking about, which I love that because it means something to me what I'm doing and how I'm spending my time. And I am inquisitive, so when I speak to the people who knock at the door in twos or speaking to her, I love to hear these stories.
Yeah. Next up, we got Kevin Phoenix, the power slap guy.
Kevin Phoenix, yeah, this is another,
again from America.
Right place, right time. Yeah, the Yank, as they'd call him in the wrestling, which you probably can't say.
He happened to be over here.
Yeah.
And he wanted to come on.
We thought it was a great opportunity, didn't we? Because he was recently on the Power Slap reality TV thing to see who can go on it. It was an opportunity for him to kind of put himself out there and see if he could get onto the Power Slap competition.
Yeah.
It was a great he was currently the PWL champion, so it was a great talking point. We had the belt here. We got to have a mess with that fanboy over that.
Yeah.
But there was both calling me to come and get in the ring, wasn't they?
Yeah.
So this is
the slappy.
He gave me a nice juicy slap, yeah. So I'll kind of give him a bitch slap, didn't I? So I kind of let him slap me again. And he gave me the giggles.
Yeah, he's all right, man.
Which was what, 10%, 15%?
He said 20, I think,
Yeah.
But it's mad, because he says, didn't he, I've never actually done a power slap fight.
Yeah, he's never been slapped. So I was the first guy to slap him.
Yeah, we can call that like a draw, as a power slap draw.
Yeah.
Put that in the record books. There'll be a book somewhere.
Put that on my stats.
Power slap.
Yeah.
Drew against Kevin Feeney.
But something I never said, Will, was how I knew Mad Dog. So when I first got released from the football, I always loved wrestling. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go and get in the ring with my mate. I'm an athlete. Picked it up really quick, and within a month of training, I was having title matches, and I was a tag team champ with my mate. And then one day, Mad Dog walks through the door with a couple of brutes, and like, I thought, I was confident because I'm an athlete. And then he says, "Come on, let's lock up." He had all the right lingo, and he's like getting me in arms, turning me around, putting me doing this, and then he's making me put him in stuff. And I was like, "This ain't me here. Like, I can do all this. I can do the flippy shit, and I could pick somebody up with one arm, and I could do all this. I could get in the ring. I could be quicker than anyone." And that was an interesting time. But fortunately or unfortunately, my football career took off, and I went with it. I sometimes say, like, if I would have stuck with the wrestling, I probably would have been like a Sheamus or a Drew McIntyre or a Wade Barrett.
There with them,
but I wouldn't have had my son. Do you know what I mean? So
I think as well, going on local legends for like wrestling and stuff, like William Regal, he's Codsall, up the road really. Yeah. There's again there's so much wrestling history here for some reason. I ain't sure why, if it's a black country.
It's like wrestling, rock and roll, isn't it?
It's all
football.
Birmingham,
it's the Midlands. It's in the middle of everything. It's authentic. Like, it started rock and roll, man.
It's crazy.
Like Led Zeppelin, Motorhead, ELO, Sabbath.
Yeah.
You can't make it up.
No. Next up, we got Michael Fabricant.
Michael Fabricant. Yeah, so again, going back to the music days, because he was the representative for Lichfield, I ended up putting on music events in Lichfield, and he'd be the guy cutting the tape or giving the check, presenting the check. Even though I was raising £2,500, it was him with a check because it ticked his box. So we've always stayed in touch. I don't know if I said it. I've been on nights out with him. I've been on a night out with him in the cocktail bars. him and Pincher, but we won't say anything else about that.
Trying to get me on a night out in Lichfield.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah.
Mikey boy. Sir Mikey.
Yeah. Good guy though. He followed me on Instagram. Speaking of that, everybody, here it is. Will George M8. Give me a follow. Just got to get the plugs in again, and another one for Kyle, just because I know he loves it.
You're going to take over the show, aren't you?
I am Kyle Perry. Give him a follow. There we go. Get that back. But yeah, that was cool, man. Like you say, we went out for a drink with him afterwards, chatting to him. Again, I'm a bit clueless, really, to be fair, about a lot of these things. But you're like, he was running the country, like making some big decisions.
Made the worst decisions.
And then I'm there saying... Like, I'm there in the car just chatting to him going, so what do you think of this? And just showing him, like, memes or something.
And that's fine. He's still human, isn't he? He's still very much human, and like we all are. So I saw something the other week, and it was a guy in a bar, and he saw Keanu Reeves in there, in a pub not long back. And everybody was going and having pictures with him. And the guy said, "Is it all right if I sit down and buy you a beer and have a chat with you?" And he said he ended up spending an hour and a half sitting down with Keanu Reeves. He's just a guy.
Yeah.
He wants to chat.
All on the same level.
Yeah. And I love that story.
But it's just crazy. Carl Porter. So I like this one. This was one of my favourites that we've done, to be fair.
Carl's class, mate. Carl is absolutely class. And it was a really fun episode. So Carl, for anyone who doesn't know, is a comedian from Blackpool. He's been on the circuits for many years, but he went viral a few years back with his slow motion goal celebration.
How did you meet Carl?
TikTok.
You didn't know him. You haven't played games with him.
So we did.
Just reached out.
So again, I'm like he mentioned on the episode. He follows a lot of footballers. He loves football.
He's a stato.
He's a complete stato. I was following him. I liked his stuff. He followed me back. And I can't remember who messaged you, but he was like, "This is class." I'm like, "Mate, love to have you on." He's like, "Tell me when." Chuck some dates at him. Got him down here and did he? Yeah, loved it, mate. Loved the episode.
Because, I like it as well, because he travelled down here, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? So he travelled
Come out of his way, man.
He doesn't drive, that I know of anyway, but he caught the train down here.
Yeah.
It took him about 4 hours or something, didn't it? Because there was issues with the trains on that day.
He had a nightmare getting here, nightmare getting back. But you're going to love this. It's like a cult of a personality. Like these people who they think outside the box. They're a little bit different. They understand what it means or what can come from it. What can it lead to? So if I wasn't doing the music to do my charity festivals, I wouldn't have met Michael. And by the time this comes around, I wouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
If I never put in a good word for Josh when I was at a football club with an agent, Josh wouldn't have moved to the Football League to say anything you want, Carl. Do you know what I mean? You see people on the way up and you see people on the way down, but you just got to... I say to you, like, keep doing the right things, man. And I say fight the good fight, and I suppose that'd be something on my grave with my son's situation is fight the good fight, put your best foot forward, pick up your shield, pick up your sword, let's go.
Always.
Yeah.
He was good though, Carl. I liked him. Hopefully we'll have some of these people back on as well, to be fair. It'd be good, I think, for some second episodes. And the final one, ITV World of Sport legend, Scrubber Daly.
Wow.
Which,
I mean, that
was another one of my favourites.
That was thanks to you, mate. Yeah, you know, you're doing your job now, finally. Not having taking over the show, you're finally producing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like growing up, mate, my mum was a Tamworth girl, and wrestling was big over there, big in Tamworth, Nuneaton, Bedworth. And, you know, Big Daddy's brother had a promotion running in Bedworth, I think it was, or his dad, or one of them, I can't remember. So as I was growing up and loved wrestling, my mum would tell me stories of the giant haystacks, 6'10", but he'd go against the hero, Big Daddy, who the crowd admired, and all the women with the bags would hit giant haystacks and he'd come out. And then he'd team with his mates, and then Scrubber Daly, who was just as big as him, would come out and tag with him, and Big Daddy would get the crowd cheering and come away with a victory. And I loved hearing about all these stories. And then there was always sights of him, which was like Bigfoot being seen around the towns and locally. I mean, people have gone mad at me on TikTok saying he grew up in somewhere in Manchester, and then somebody else says he's from Ireland, and you know. I said all I'm saying is, you know, there was sightings of him over there. There's a lot of fact checkers, which is fine. I don't mind it. They're entitled to say.
Yeah, he was a really good guy as well. Like very humble. I think it's such a crazy story because it was like, even though wrestling was so big, he wasn't getting a big piece of the pie or whatever.
Different times, mate. Imagine if he's doing it now, he'd be one of the biggest stars in the world.
100%.
So, but even then, mate, in the 80s, late 80s, there was 10 million people watching him every Saturday, probably 4 p.m, World of Sport, ITV.
Yeah.
That's what people would do. They'd get down, settle down on a Saturday evening, afternoon, watch World of Sport. It was part and parcel. Yeah. You know, even in football, you'd go on to be the Soccer AM, they'd do the easy, shut up, ask him, ref. Yeah. All come from World of Sport.
Pantomime as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it all come from World of Sport. And then we've got this guy, very humble, and obviously times have changed. And I'm sure in wrestling, people still respect him and appreciate him. But this was like one of the biggest stars then, if you think about it. Primetime TV. You know, you've got the likes of Simon Cowell now, haven't you, or whatnot. But even those numbers, I think, you know, X Factor or Britain's Got Talent's only doing like, I don't know, somebody will fact check me, but I want to say like 5, 6, 7 million. And like primetime ITV World of Sport was 12 million plus views. Limited channels, it was the only thing you could watch.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a wrestling fan, was he? The guy who was running the network.
No, he
pulled it out.
He just pulled it kind of thing. And it ruined it. But
something I loved, which I got flack for, was the hate for saying Big Daddy wasn't a good guy, because everybody was saying this was my hero. I grew up he was my hero, Big Daddy, and saying that he was a villain in real life and he wouldn't sign autographs for the kids. How dare you? Yeah. I'm like, look, I'm not saying it. This is somebody who was on the road with him for years.
Yeah. I mean, there's some stuff in there where it is like your heroes aren't who you think they are.
Yeah.
There's been heroes of mine who I've watched growing up. One who, I don't want to name names, but obviously I was watching wrestling all my life. There's a wrestler who I've watched growing up, and now they're slinging hate towards the show, basically. And it's like they've obviously misinterpreted whatever's been said, and it's like... No,
I'll talk about it. I'll name names. So, like, the British Bulldog. So I'm still learning. I make mistakes. I'm not the finished article. So obviously, Scrubber Daly tells stories about how where was he wrestling? Was it in China, India, Japan?
It might have been like Taiwan.
Yeah,
or something.
And he's saying he's wrestling with Davey Boy Smith, who's under the influence, and I'm loving the story. You know, listening to a story about wrestling with Davey Boy Smith, one of my icons, one of my idols. Now I say I'm not perfect. I've got friends who aren't perfect. He might be up there. So I appreciate this, but obviously I've clicked it, got the short out there, made the mistake of tagging Davey Boy Jr.
Yeah. Harry Smith.
And again, he's entitled to, but he's He's articulated in the best way he can that he's not a fan of it. Don't follow me. Don't message me again. And F off.
But and then like blocked us, and again like
I tried to message him. I said, look, this wasn't my intention. I'm sorry. I apologise. I am one of the biggest fans of your dad. Growing up, he's an icon to me and the producer, Whirl.
Yeah. And him himself. I've got action figures of him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like to know that someone who you've looked up and gone, especially because he was an English wrestler, or
he was the English wrestler, wasn't he?
The British Bulldog.
Yeah.
And even like Harry Smith in 2010, or when he's teaming with Tyson Kidd and stuff like that, it's like, that's the British Bulldogs.
Art Foundation.
Oh my God, he's basically the Hart Dynasty. They've called them too.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's I think I don't know if he's classed as Canadian or what. I'm not sure what his official ethnicity will be, to be honest. But it's like in my head, it was like, he's from England as well. Like he's exactly like if he's doing it, inspiration for me to be able to do this, and then to think, he isn't a fan, and it's like, you're gonna get it. Do you know what I mean?
I think he's entitled to say
everyone's a fan of what we do or whatever, and like you say, the quiz.
But I'm surprised he took it to heart as much as he did.
But I guess you're talking about his dad, who he loves, who isn't here to defend himself and stuff.
Yeah, it's
fair
fair comment.
I guess it's like I think I can imagine how I might feel if it was, but I can't, because I'm not in that situation either. Like I can't even imagine how it would feel. I'm not sure how I'd react, and maybe he's done it and he's gone, forget him, and he hates us forever. Maybe he's done it and he might see this and he might go, actually, I guess they didn't mean it. He might go, well, too late, actually. You had one chance. You've had someone who said that, so forget you.
Well, he ain't going to see this either way, so.
He's blocked us. No, I'll send him on my person.
We'll send it Natty or Tyson. There's loads of them, isn't there? Who else is left?
Yeah, there's a few. There's
Owen's wife.
Diane.
No, we won't send it any of them. It's something we live and learn by, I think, this one.
Yeah, well, glad I've ended it on I like to keep it positive.
Oh, are you ending it on that one? I thought you wanted to ask me some bullshit questions or something.
I mean, we can do if you want. It's
not really.
Going to drag it on for an hour. It's been nearly 2. So
Kyle, I'll just do 50 minutes, maybe 45. Well, 2 hours later on the Willadox show.
He loves to talk, doesn't he? He loves to chat. But do you want to do the little quiz?
I ain't going to have the answers, mate. What is it on?
Football? Your
not really, mate. No, I've tried to stay away. Like I say, it's love-hate.
Well, we're going to do it.
For Christ's sake.
You're
going to click this. Maybe if we talk about sharks or Jaws or films or...
Here we go.
Can you send it me so I've got the answers so we can clip it and make me look like the bollocks?
The quiz. This is Kyle Perry's quiz. So he loves the football quiz. You know he loves the tough ones. In fact, you know what I should have done? I should have pulled up the TikTok and got some of the questions that some people have commented.
Yeah.
The top one is one actually, and it was question 1. What is the shape of a football? Is it A, square, B, round, or C, triangle?
Oh, that's a tough one, this is, mate. Obviously round. You want to know how bad it got?
Go on.
Shall I tell you how bad it got? Somebody messaged and they said, this quiz is so bad, I'm going to send you better quiz questions.
Brilliant.
I've got them. I've got them here. So I'm going to ask the question and then you can obviously... Well, you ain't going to get them, are they? But shall I ask you questions or shall I say them? Yeah. Who are the only 2 players to score penalties in the Premier League with both feet?
David Beckham, Michael Owen.
No. Bobby Zamora and Obafemi Martins.
If you say it with confidence, though, it sounded like I knew you.
He did. Let's try another one. The oldest player to appear in a Premier League match.
Ronaldinho.
It's not a bad shout, but no. John Burridge, Man City versus QPR, 43 years old.
Hang on, so the guy's asked you the questions and gave you the answers?
Yeah.
Does he not know how it works?
He messaged me saying, this quiz is so bad, ask these questions instead. So I'm doing it, and then I'll tag him in if I can find him. First player to score 4 goals in a Premier League match.
That's Steven Gerrard.
No, it was Norwich City, 1993. Who was it? And I'm
Are you asking me?
Yeah, come on, you know this one.
I wasn't even born.
It was Efan Ekuku. Efan Ekuku.
Should have got that.
Only player to play for 8 different Premier League teams. You know this one.
Mike Bennett, the WWE superstar.
Marcus Bent.
I don't know who that is. I don't know. Sorry, Marcus Bent.
There you go. You got it right. What are the chances of that?
I'm good enough.
Most consecutive Premier League appearances.
Oh, that's... I do know this one.
I think I actually knew this one.
That is Wayne Rooney.
No.
That was a good guess.
Big Brad Friedel, goalkeeper, 310.
England goalkeeper.
Consecutive Premier League appearances.
All right. What colour card? Because that was a rubbish quiz. Whoever sent that in, don't send any more quizzes in. That was awful. I'll get the real quiz going again. What colour card means the player is sent off? Is it A, yellow, B, blue, or C, red?
Next question.
You don't know? You don't know the answer?
Come on, next question if we click
He
in it.
knows nothing. What is the name of the tournament where countries play every 4 years? Now, this is a trick question because it could be two answers, really, couldn't it?
No.
Like, it could be two answers.
No.
A, the Champions League. B, the World Cup. C, the Europa League. Could be the Euros as well. That's countries playing every 4 years, isn't it?
Yeah. Next question.
You don't know?
Next question.
The answer is B, the World Cup. Number 5. What do you score in football to win the game? A, points. B, goals. C, touchdowns.
Do you know the answer?
You tell me.
Next question.
You don't know. It's touchdowns. Which country is famous for winning the World Cup 5 times? That's an actually difficult one if you don't know.
Brazil.
Football. Yeah, it is. Got the 5 stars on there on the thing, didn't they? What part of the body can a goalkeeper use that other players can't? Hands, feet, or elbows?
Penis. What?
Hands, feet, or elbows?
Yeah. Hans Gruber.
What do we call the person who enforces the rules in the match? Is he the coach?
Twat.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I need a referee on. This is something a lot of
The
people
one who
are
sent
saying.
you off in the charity game, get him on.
No, he's not a referee. I'll get a
Oh.
proper referee on. I know a few, so.
Last question. What colour is the England home kit usually?
Pink.
And he's got it right, everybody. This has been the Willadox Show.
This has been the Willadox Show.
That's it. That's how
Just
we
a
end
couple
it.
of things, mate, before we finish.
Yeah, let's go.
Obviously, as we grow, we are looking for sponsorship opportunities. So if you're out there, we're a channel which is growing. It's literally snowballing. The numbers are doing really well. If you want to be a part of it, we'd love to hear from you. So drop us a message, drop us a DM, emails pezzadox1@gmail.com. Reach out to us, and we'd love to have a chat.
Just pop your Instagram. So if people do want to reach out,
I am Kyle Perry.
it's on the bottom.
I am Kyle Perry, and this has usually been the Pezzadox Show. I am Kyle Perry. This is usually the Pezzadox Show, but today
It is the Willadox Show. Also, I do want to thank everyone for watching, everyone for subscribing. Big thanks to all our guests who we've had on. Do you know what I mean? You've all been great. We're looking for guests as well. Do you know what I mean? We do reach out to people. We've had people reach out to us. But if you have got an interesting story, drop us a message in it. And you can follow me. I'm George Bates again. Nah, but seriously, it's been brilliant. So, yeah.
can you put the camera back on me now?
Yeah, man. I
All
can't
right,
do the
then.
wide cam like I normally do.
That's all right. Do you want to play? We can still shake hands. Are you going to do the shake hands?
Yeah, we'll put the music on. Here we go. Behind the scenes. Hosted by William George.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, mate. It's been a
Produced
pleasure.
by William George.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Sorry about the production. There's been a bit of a mess up
Thank you.
some of it, but never mind. One sec, featuring Kyle Perry. Hey there.